Okay, our next section is this section here in the instructions. Up here we've got these pieces here which are plastic, or if you're going to do photo etch, you're going to have to do plastic bits with the holes and then use a photo etch strip, which is this funny looking piece here that looks like an ammunition belt, but we're not going to do that. We are going to use the plastic parts. They're more than sufficient and I think they look much nicer and easier to put in. So this smaller piece is going to be this end. They are keyed, so you can't really mess it up. So there you are. Like I say, if parts don't fit, 9 out of 10, either you've got it in the wrong place or it's the wrong part in general. So we have this piece here, it's going to lock into here. So that's all nicely done. And now we'll repeat the process on the other side. We've got one more piece to put in there. So the other piece around the other side is this piece here, which is known as U21 part, and it goes this way round. Once you hear that snap, it's going to go in. So there you are. We are going to glue this together because I'm not happy with some of the tightness, so I'm just going to butt this down a bit more, but this is pretty much the cockpit area. Also we have a piece to go here, which is a U6 piece, which looks like this tiny piece, and this is going to slot into here. Nicely done. And then up the top here we have a piece called U2, which is this funny looking piece. Not sure what these parts are, but again they are keyed, so we have a circle and a square, so you can't really mess it up, and that goes in there. We have a piece that goes along here, it's like a bar, which is J20, and then we have this segment here, and this segment here, which I'll tell you which this segment may look like to you. So we have this back piece, it's going to go this way around. It's kind of keyed, so we have a slot facing this way and a slot facing this way with a little nail, so it is kind of keyed again, so you can't really mess it up. That's going to go in the top here, as it's always fiddly. This is not fitting that well, so I'm going to have to put a dab of glue on that. And this base at the back, if I'm not mistaken, is part of the cockpit of an intruder, if I'm not mistaken. So this is going to slot into here. Hear that snap? That's nicely done, and we have a couple of detail parts just attached to this as well. Okay folks, our next section here is this triangle piece of the ship. It's part of the nose, so we're going to have to do this one, which is this assembly, and then repeat the process again on the other side. So we're going to build this one up, and then the other one I'll just do off camera. So our next step is these two parts, which is here. We have a couple of detail parts to attach, and then we work our way along. So these sections are the first two pieces for the walkway, or triangle piece at the back or at the front of the ship. So this is keyed here and keyed here, so you can't really mess it up again. It needs to face this way round, this way, and it simply gets slotted in to two halves. And then next step, we have detail parts to fill these holes in. So next section is this piece here, is D24, and this is going to slot in here. Again, it's kind of keyed because it has two pins. You hear that snap. We have D23, and it goes to the opposite side. Again, it has kind of like a pin, so you can't really mess these parts up at all. We have this piece here. Anyone can tell me what this looks like? To me it looks like a back of a Sherman, no sorry, not Sherman, a Tiger or a Panther. It looks like the engine deck. And again, this one is kind of keyed. We have a small notch and a large notch, and that will fit, according to this, right in there. So also we have a couple of parts to go on the back here, which is this one here is D13, and again it has a square peg, so you can't really mess this up. And this is going to go up here. I tell you, these gribbly parts are really fiddly. Right, as I say, it goes just right in there. There's the snap. Next part, we have down the bottom here, we have this piece is D20. Again, this is keyed, and this is going to go in there. We have this piece here, D15, and this is somewhat keyed, and it's going to go in that slot there. So it's come along nicely. So again, we have these sidewall parts. We have this piece here is D10. Again, it's keyed, it's got a slot in it, and it's going to go in here. To make up this back part, we have this piece here, which is D25. Again, it's got 2 pins and a small slot, which is kind of keyed again, which goes into this back part down here. It's kind of keyed. And then we have this piece here, which goes right across the front in the middle. Okay folks, next section is this part here is the underside. We just flip it over from what we've done previously. Now we have some sidewalls to fill this in and here. So the very first part is going to be this piece here is D34. Again, it's got a key slot in it, so it goes in nicely. Piece down the bottom underneath, which is this one here, is going to be D6, which goes over this side. Again, it's kind of keyed, can't really make a mistake. There's that snap. We have this piece here with a round piece in it, and it's got 1 pin. That's going to go in here. Make up make up these walls. This piece here is D36, and again it's got 2 pins. Can't really mess it up, and it goes into the back part here to make this wall. So that's pretty much done. We have a small piece here and 1 piece there. They're very fiddly. They're like little jets of air type things, according to this. So we'll do that next. So we have 2 pieces here. It's keyed again. It's large and small slot, which looks like this. It's like a H. So remember, this is small and large key, which is going to go this way round. These can be quite fiddly. Get right in there. That's gone in nicely. We have this piece here, which is I-28. Again, it's got just a small slot on the back, and the 2 circle pieces have got to face upwards. And this has got to go in this L shape key, and that's got to go in there nicely, so it's here. Okay folks, section 3 is this giant triangle piece, which is the part of the nose. So we need C2 and D32. This is C2, this giant piece, and D32 is this piece here. It goes this way round. It's got loads of gribblies and detail parts. You notice there's part of a tank gun section from machine gun. We've got loads of detail parts. You work your way along. So this piece is going to be keyed again with a notch, and according to this it should slot down in there, and it should go into the back. So there's the notches. So that's into place. A little bit of a loose fit at the moment because we need to sandwich the top piece on to lock it into place. So we might need a small dabs of glue just to hold it in place maybe. And then we have a back plate which is going to be down here, which is D9. So this section is D9, and again this is kind of keyed with here, here, and then here and here and here. So these corresponding notches are the ones for the keys. Should go in there nicely. This is a tight fit, this piece. Make sure it's all level. You do not want it to twist. That's got in nicely. I don't know if you noticed on these instructions here, you see these two little symbols. They mean it's going to snap into place. This is going to snap into place. Okay, next section is the end cap, and it's W15, and this is this piece. It looks like the top of an engine to me. I couldn't tell you. Again, it's keyed, so we have a slot and a hole, and that corresponds with this piece. So again, you can't really mess this up. And this is going to go down, and it should give you a snap. There you go, there's a snap. Push these pieces forward. Now this is locked into place just nicely. Next section is D30. Looks like a gun mantlet to me of some sort. Could be totally wrong on that. But again, this piece again is keyed. It has a pin and a long piece at the bottom. And this is going to go in here. So it's facing this way round. This should snap into place according to instructions. There you go. Hear all of those clicks. Push this back down again because it's popped out. Once this top plate goes on, it should hold it all into place. Next section is this back plate to go on here, and then we have some detail parts, and we have looks like a piece to go on here possibly. Nope, just a piece to go down here. Okay folks, just one thing before you attach this D30, don't forget to add D29 and D31. They're going to go together, two parts, and then it goes underneath and it goes in here. If you forget to put this in and you've stuck this in, you're going to get a giant gap. This is going to lock it all in together as well, so just try not to remember this. So next step. So now we're ready to put this piece in. It's going to be keyed again on the back side, and you're going to get some snaps. It's perfectly fine. So this part's all in place now. So we're going to have a lot of hoses going to go along here now as well. Also, next section is the bit we built up first off, the sub-assembly. Now this can go in this way, making sure it's this way up. So you've got these funny looking grills, and the keys are facing this way because it's going to go into this notch. locks into place nicely. So it's going to have these parts showing on the lower side. And when you turn it over, this is the upper plate. No detail parts on this just yet, but this is going to lock all of this together now. You should hear some snaps where it's all going together. There's a piece there. And then this is the upper side. So you should have these open as well. So these are access ports. Again, we're going to have tons of piping all the way along here on the leading edge, and all of these is going to be piping and detail parts. Okay folks, we have more gribblies and detail parts to put on. We have this piece here with these two bars and whatever is D35. Again, it just has a pin and a long slot. It's keyed, so you can't mess it up. This one goes in here. Fits nice and tight. We have this long piece with this shape, and this is a D8, and this goes in here. Again, it's keyed, small and large, so again you can't really mess these parts up at all. That's not too bad. We have this tiny piece. Again, it's keyed, it's large and small fittings, and they fit up the top here. There's a large and small fitting. Another piece we have here, which is D39. Again, it's kind of keyed, but it sits right up against this leading edge. You've got detail one side and it's flat the other. The flat side is going to go up against the side, and then this sticks out this way. We have this funny looking piece here. Again, I believe this is D28. Again, it's going to fit this way round, and it's going to go into this hole here. Make sure you get it around the right way. It's keyed again, it's facing up and down. And it slots into there. So we have a couple more pieces we're going to put here, and some long pipes. Okay folks, we're going to be working on this other side of the triangle part now of the ship. Just one thing you want to be aware of, some parts overlap other parts, so you just want to be careful when you put them on, so you don't accidentally put on the one part and then it's not going to fit. Like here for example, I-30 needs to go on first, and then on top of that is I-29, which goes into I-30 and then comes around the side and down. So just be aware some parts may overlap, and you're just going to have to work out which one goes in first. So this is the upper section, so it's going to go here and then on top of it. So I-30 is this funny looking piece with all the pipes, and again it's keyed, it's small, and the notch is just going to go literally right into there. You're going to hear a snap. We have a corresponding hole. This pipe's going to have to sit inside that hole. It's going to require a tiny bit of glue just to hold these pipes into place because they're flexible, but we can do that in a minute. And then I-29 is going to go into this hole, and it goes round, and which is this piece here. It's got an L shape. Sorry, my mistake, that wasn't I-29, this is I-29. The one I had was I-20, which goes up here. So this piece goes up here, that's going to slide into there, and then this pipe's going to go inside this hole, So we're going to need a bit of glue just to put it into that hole, because it's not, that piece is not going in right. So far I've had to use tiny bits of glue just on some of these pipes because they don't really want to sit in these holes properly. This piece I thought was I-29, which is actually I-20. This goes up here. And I have this longer piece, which is another L shape, which is I-17, which is going to go up here and down. So next step is I-18, which is, again, is an L-shaped piece, and it has 2 notches on the back, and that corresponds up here, and this goes this way round. So this one slots into here and here, and this piece is going to sit inside one of those holes. This piece here with these bunch of pipes, we have this long piece with several pipes. This is I-21, and this goes here, here, and all the way along there. Again, these I'm going to have to go into just a couple of holes. These bits are going to, on the end here, are going to have to be glued in because they're quite loose. Next piece is this one here, is I-19, very long pipe, and this is going to go all the way around the back here, so slots in there, and into here. Just be very careful because they are very fragile, and that's into place. Next pipe is pipe I-26, and this goes this way around, and this goes in here and in here. We have a long support piece to go along here. Last piece to go along here was W16, and this simply gets notched in here. So this wing is now complete all over. So we have 2 of these to make now, 1 more to make.